Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Be very, very welcome. Today we have, as we said, a very special guest, Irena Castle. She's the creator of Overbound. Many of you already own the Clarity trainers with the different shields to train binocular vision and to train the brain to connect better with one eye and the other, and then both of them together. Irena has been a guest of us many, many times in the community. She is also one of the authors in the anthology A New World of Seeing, Practice and Perspective of Natural Vision Improvement. And of course, she talks about obstruction, selective obstruction in vision training. And many of you may have met her in Valencia at the International Conference of Holistic Vision last October. She has been doing an amazing work preparing tools that can be used by the community of natural vision professionals as a whole, and in particular on pinhole glasses. We've been waiting for Irena pinhole glasses for 3+ years, and I want to celebrate the research effort that you have done, speaking with a dozen of us colleagues to ask about what specifications, what we need for the best pinhole glasses, what are the most common mistakes, and what our students and participants dislike about pinhole glasses, etc. And it has been an odyssey for you to go through all the iterations to improve them until you have finally reached the point where you can share them with us. So I am so excited to have you here, Irena, to share finally the availability of this new shield for the Clarity trainers. So tell us all about it. You probably want to introduce yourself a bit more and the work you've done and the Clarity trainers for those that don't know about it, and all your work with Overbound. Thank you for
Sure
being
thing. Well, thank you very much for having me back. For anybody who does not know me, again, my name is Irena Castle. I founded Overbound back in 2018, and at that time, I started working on tools that would help with vision development. And it all started with sports and eventually kind of evolved into a much broader adventure for me, where I decided to change the way we support the vision training in a natural vision improvement. And instead of using, all sorts of different kind of wobbly homemade tools, of which, many of them function, I decided to make a professional line of items that are more precise than anything you can make at home. And with every single piece that I introduce, I bring it to the next level. I try to take what is the common basic item used in natural vision improvement, and I study the pros and cons, the difficulties that the students and teachers have with those tools, and I change it in a way that training with them becomes easier, becomes more pleasant, becomes more efficient, and more effective. Okay. And when I first introduced the Clarity Eyesight Trainer, which is a set of basic shields, right? Monocular shields, multiple binocular shields to train all sorts of different visual techniques, including peripheral vision, acuity, 3D vision, all sorts of different things. When I first introduced that item, I was asked for pinhole glasses. It was like the first thing, right? In the first meeting, everybody said, "Are you going to have pinhole glasses?" And it wasn't really on my list at first, but I was like, sure. I mean, why not, right? People are asking for them. They are kind of hard to get, not necessarily hard to purchase, but hard to figure out what are, the good ones, which ones are not the good ones. And so I was like, okay, let me work on a couple of things first, and then I will begin to work on the pinhole glasses. And my general thought was, well, we will take what's out there, make a few changes, figure out the biggest issues, and then bring them to life. Well, little did I know that the changes that I would want to make were going to be very difficult to make in the regular production processes that are used in the production of any or almost any other pinhole glasses out there, and the production that I use for my current products, right? And so I was like, okay, well, if we're making these changes, I'm not going to just bring whatever item is out there. I'm going to sit down with the vision teachers out there, and we are going to put a list together of all the wishes that we have for a tool that would be ideal for natural vision improvement, right? Pinhole glasses have been out there for a long time, but I actually don't believe that they were truly made for the purpose for which we use them. Right? In many cases, people just kind of buy them, they put them on their eyes, and they say, okay, well, yeah, maybe I see better, but my vision's not getting better, right? Because they don't actually practice with them. They don't train with them. They don't know how, because unless they join a natural vision improvement course or read through the books, they don't really know how to properly leverage this tool to improve their vision permanently. And so, like I said, I got together with multiple different teachers. Ainhoa was one of them. And we were just having a discussion, right? Like, what works? What doesn't work? What about the size of the holes? What about the fact that regular pinhole glasses are usually small and they cover the peripheral part of the vision? And we just went on and on, everybody kind of throwing things into the bucket. And at the end, I came out with a list of wishes that we would have for a product that would be designed specifically for the purpose of natural vision improvement, right? And then I got to work, and I worked with my engineers, and we put the product together, and we were going to go to market very quickly. And then I realized that the way I wanted to make the product, like I kind of indicated, was not really possible. There are technical things that I'm not going to get into. If you guys have, by any chance, received an email from me yesterday, I explained a lot of it there, right? But ultimately, the regular process that makes any plastic pinhole glasses doesn't really allow for all these optimal things to be incorporated into the shield. And so we had to pull, I kept telling Ainhoa, yes, we're almost there. We're almost there. It's going to take a few more months. We will be there, right? And few more months turned into more than 3 years.
Yes.
But we are here today, right? And on Sunday, I had the chance to introduce these glasses. And the shield that fits into the Clarity Eyesight Trainer frame, just like any other attachment that we have. This shield is actually not plastic. It is made of aluminum. It is actually really sturdy, right? It has a holding frame that makes sure that the shape of the shield stays intact. The shield is extremely thin. As you can see over here, it is only 1 millimeter in thickness. Okay, that has a lot of different implications, and I will talk about that if you guys want to hear it. And then it is coated so that it's quite black, right? We want it to be dark. We want almost all occluders to be dark and to be matte. Dark because the eyes like to rest. The darkness, the blackness brings a lot of rest to the eyes. Also, and I don't know if you guys know that, but if you look through any sort of mesh or pinholes or anything that is black, anything that's behind it is going to pop out, right? Like if you look through any other color, you will likely be noticing the actual thing that you look through. That is true for fences, that is true for anything, right? But if you look through something black, your attention is not on the black part, it is on what is behind. So we wanted a very black shield for that purpose. And we also wanted the shield to be perfectly matte so that we would limit any sort of unwanted light reflections, right? So lots of things like that. One of the issues that we were discussing with the teachers was the fact that pinhole glasses usually are very, how would I say it? Oh, like tunnel vision focused. Let's say like that. Not to the same extent, right? We're not trying to promote tunnel vision, but what I'm trying to say is they usually ignore anything in the periphery. Okay, so that was one of the goals, to make sure that the new pinhole glasses can have things, can incorporate the peripheral vision. And the biggest defect, I would say, of traditional plastic pinhole glasses is the shape of the hole. So
I was
lots
gonna,
of different things. So I'm going to start there
I
and
wanna, I was going to speak
explain
about that because
how that works.
yeah, the usual pinhole glasses, because of how they poke the holes in the plastic, they're reverse of what we need. And we have our students sometimes changing the shields, but then it's very weird. Yeah, so please go ahead and
Yes,
explain how you solve this problem, because a lot of
excellent.
students talk about it too. Yes.
Very good. So I'm going to go kind of step by step through all of these different things that I have just mentioned. And then I know, up to you if you want people to kind of pause in between, or whether we just go through it and then we take questions after.
Maybe if you have questions, you can write them down as they come, so you don't forget. And I will be paying attention at the chat, and also at the end, if some people want to raise their hand, they have questions. We will be very happy to take the time to answer them. Yeah.
Very good.
Diana is also with us from the team, so you can either write to Diana, write to me. That's probably the more practical. Irena is going to be more taking care of the presentation itself. And between Diana and I, we will be sharing the questions. And at the end, again, if some people want to raise their hand, we'll have some.
Perfect.
Oh, yours,
Perfect.
Irena.
All
And
right. So let's talk about, yes.
give me just one sec. And if you can turn your camera on and we can see your face, that would be amazing, because then we also know how the information is landing, what is making sense, what is not making sense. Sometimes you're not in a context where that's easy, but if you can, we would love to see you, and you matter. So we love to see your face. That's all I wanted to say. Go ahead, Irena.
Very good. All right. So we will start with the shape of the actual holes. So in most common pinhole glasses, what happens is that the hole itself has a conical shape, right? It's like a cone. And it is like that because of the production limitations that are driven by the fact that the pinhole glasses are plastic. And the cones, they are positioned in a way that the hole, and I will turn sideways so that you can see it, is like this. Okay, how would I show it? It's like this. Okay, so the hole is ultimately more narrow on the outside of the pinhole glass, right? The one that goes away from the face, and then the cone gets wider as it faces the eye. Now, what happens is the light that is in the surroundings, right? It gets it's first very scattered, and then it gets concentrated through this tiny little hole that is on the outside of the pinhole shield. And then because the pinhole shield is conical, the light comes through and becomes to disperse. And as it comes towards the eye, it gets wider and wider and wider. It's no longer focused and concentrated. And it creates what we can call visual noise. And that visual noise, or light noise, basically makes the sharpness of the image that we're looking at lesser than what it could be. So my big goal was to create a shield that would have the pinholes to be straight, right? Because we want to tame the light. The whole purpose of the pinhole is to tame the light so that the light comes through the pinholes towards the eyes in a straight direction, in as few directions as possible, because then it creates the sharpest possible image. Okay, so that is why. That is why the pinhole shield from Overbound, it has straight holes, and because it is made of metal, right? We're not limited by the production capabilities of the factories that work with plastic. We're not limited by the injection molding process that makes most pinhole glasses. Instead, we're using lasers to cut straight holes into the metal, and only then we treat the shield and go through all of these other kind of steps to give you the product that we have. Okay, so that's a huge benefit. If you compare the clarity, the sharpness of the image, the contrast that you get from a pinhole that is conical versus a pinhole that is straight, then you will see very clearly that the straight pinholes give you better results.
May I say something?
Yes.
So if the cones would be like this, it would be okay. But because of what Irena says, the way plastic is put into shape, they cannot make them like this with plastic. They can only make them like that. So in this sense, having a conical hole is a lot better. So
straight hole.
So yes, a cylinder. Sorry, I meant.
Yes.
So yeah, you have done such an amazing work solving this problem, and it obliges you to change the materials, to go from plastic to aluminum, and yeah, to change the complete way of thinking about the manufacture of the pinhole.
Exactly. And I know you're completely right. We actually initially had a plan to just change the direction of the pinholes, right? Like we didn't start with let's make it straight. We actually said, well, if the pinhole needs to needs to concentrate the light, we could just reverse it. The problem is that in theory that sounds possible, but in reality, in the manufacturing process, it is actually not possible. Okay, because just simply of the way the molds work and how everything needs to be demolded and treated afterwards, it just was not possible. And I am working with fantastic engineers and fantastic factory that that makes my products, and it just was not going to happen. So that's why we went back to the drawing board and said, okay, so what would be better than that? And that is where we are today, with the straight holes, making sure that the light is perfectly tamed. I actually think that it is better than reversing the cones, to be honest, because the light stays, once it enters the shield, it stays in the same direction and it hits your eyes as straight as is possible for a tool like a pinhole shield. Okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Very good. So that's the first, I would say, very, very big benefit that gives us a chance to give our brain a very sharp image. And then as we train vision using various different techniques, we give the brain a very good quality example of what it is that we want to see once we remove the pinholes. Okay? Very good. So any questions about the holes, right? If you have questions about some other features, let's just wait. But if you have questions about the holes, is there anything there? Anybody? Or should I keep going?
Okay. I'm seeing questions, but they're not about the holes. Oh,
Okay.
yes. Jackie is asking, are the holes the same uniform size across the whole shield?
All right. Well, that brings us to the next step, right? So the answer is no. The overbound pinhole shield, and I hope you guys will be able to kind of see it, but on the website, I actually highlighted the different hole sizes with different colors. But what you can see, let's see if this makes it any better. I think this way you can see it a little better. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see that there are three different hole sizes. Okay, there is this central area that has the smallest holes, and that area is used for the training of acuity, of extension of a distance at which you can see, and many other skills. And then we have slightly larger holes that are located over here in like the mid-peripheral part of your field of view. And those holes provide context, right? They provide context to your central vision. You don't want to be practicing central vision without context. There are situations when that may be beneficial, but in general, you want to always allow your central vision to have the context of peripheral vision. So that's what the other holes are for here. And then we have even larger holes towards the very end of this frameless shield. There's a frame on the very top, right? But the rest of it is frameless. And so that these holes at the end provide spatial awareness, right? So as you put them on, usually when you use pinhole glasses, they're small. And once you start moving around, as I turn my head, right, my eyes tend to turn also. And with normal pinhole glasses, you start running into the frame, you start to run into issues with those small holes, and you don't have a good incorporation of the surroundings that you get with these glasses. So if I turn my head and start looking towards the left side, or even if I turn my eyes towards the left, right, it's almost as if the shield has disappeared. And so I can start seeing everything to my left, and I can wear these glasses in a way that it almost feels like I don't have the end of my visual field blocked. Okay. So there is a really seamless transition of going from the central vision area with the small holes into the peripheral part. So if you wear these glasses, whether for training or just, you put them on and you enjoy watching TV or walking around the house with the pinholes, safe environment only, obviously, then you will not have this feeling that you have a very limited area through which you can see. You will feel like your room is there as if you were not wearing the glasses. Okay, so that's what these different holes are for. The other benefit of having three hole sizes, and that is for training only, right? That is not when you just put it on and wear it, but it gives you a chance to practice progressively, right? When you practice with a Snellen chart using the pinholes, for example, and you decide that your vision is getting better and better at that distance, then you don't need the pinhole effect to be as extensive, I would say, right? The smaller the hole, the more limitation of the light you're getting. So once you're good working with the small holes, you can take this shield and you can perhaps cover one eye or not, but you can start practicing with the bigger holes. So you do the same thing. You will have to hold it in your hand for that particular purpose, but you can leverage the different hole sizes to improve your skill set at a specific distance. You start with the small ones, then you go bigger and bigger. And Of course, every single eye is different. Every single person is different. And so for training purposes, you may also experiment and see what brings you the best clarity during your practice. Okay, so 3 different hole sizes, 3 different zones in which they are organized to give your central vision context, to give you peripheral awareness, and of course the central part is for precise acuity training. So I will pause. Any questions there? I think Sue has a question.
Sorry, yes, I am reading some questions in the chat, and I was answering some of them. And there's a couple of people with their hands up. Do you want to take them right now, or how do you want to handle this? Because Charm Peterman has had her hand up for a while. Maybe we let her speak.
Yeah, I can take a couple questions and then we'll keep going.
Okay.
Hey, hello. Thank you
Hi.
for taking my call. A couple of questions. First, I'm very excited with what you have done. I took a NOAA's course about 2 years ago, and at the end of it, I got Lyme disease. So it's been a year and a half dealing with Lyme. I had to stop everything I was doing with my vision training. And I had purchased a pair of pinhole glasses that she had recommended at that time, and they were standard plastic glasses. And guess what? Broke right here.
Mhm.
So I'm excited that you have these separate, but I do want to ask a crazy question about warranty. Because when I wrote to say, hey, these broke inside of 2 months, I had absolutely no response from that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So for any of my products, if you do have an issue, you write to me and we will solve the issue. I don't think that I have a single client with whom we have not resolved
Thank you so
product
much.
problems if
Thank
there
you.
were. They are
Okay.
very rare, but you know, it is a physical product. It can happen. So if there is a problem, you let me know and then we will fix it.
And where will they be shipped from?
They're shipped from the US.
From the US. Okay, excellent. The other ones came from overseas. Super. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, up to now we have been informing about where to purchase pinhole glasses, but it was difficult to give a recommendation because they're all very similar. I mean, there's no big differences between the ones and the others, but except maybe, well, a couple of German made.
That's what I got. Yep. That's what I got.
A bit complicated to get. Anyway, and Irena is doing something that is qualitatively different from everyone else. So
good job.
And many people in our community have been using her clarity trainers. We know they're really robust. We know that if there's anything, Irena responds. It's not just a company, it's a person and a face relationship. And she's a natural vision improvement professional. So the starting point of her creation of tools is completely different from any other manufacturer. So
yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And then did we want to take Sue's question?
Sure.
I think you're muted, Sue.
We can barely hear you. You're not
I
muted,
cannot
but we
hear
can
her
barely
at all.
hear you.
That you've created holes.
The sound is not good enough. It sounds like it's on your end. I would suggest that you type your question if you don't mind, so we can take it into account because we cannot hear you.
For me, it says that it's disabled.
You're not muted, but the sound is very low. I can hear that you speak, but it's very difficult to distinguish the words.
Okay.
Sorry, Sue, but if you type, we can read the question.
If you type, we will read it and then we can answer your question.
Yes.
All right, so Ainhoa, what about I keep going and then we can get to more questions?
Okay, well, yes, I see that Carlos and Stacy were also motivated.
Okay, if you want.
Carlos, maybe?
Hello.
Hi.
So I'm not really sure why I'm here, except that I understood and was referred to by a friend about Ainhoa's work. And so I'm trying to find ways to recover some of my eyesight or all of it, even though I've had surgical operation on my eyes with a scalpel. So I'm curious I'm not really asking, like, can your glasses help me and how? Because I've never heard of pinhole glasses before. I'm just here because it's the first meeting that I know invited me to.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. So, yes. So first, the answer is yes, most likely, right? No tool will guarantee 100% success, but in general, what we see is that pinhole glasses are a great tool. It is only one tool in a wider tool set of products that you can either purchase or make, and it needs to be combined with a method, right? That's important. You don't just put the pinholes on and hope that you get lucky, right? There are some people who benefit from them really fast, but in general, you need to engage not just the eyes, not just look through the pinholes, which basically at that point would replace your regular prescription glasses, but you need to apply techniques that allow your eyes and brain to begin to interpret what you're looking at, the visual signals, in a different manner, right? And that is true for all the different visual skills that you need to learn in order to become better at the skill of seeing. So I don't know, Ainhoa, would you like to add anything to this?
Well, just to use a metaphor, if you want to play tennis, having a tennis racket, of course, is something that you will need, but you will probably need to take some classes. Having the tennis racket in your hand alone won't do it for you to learn how to play tennis very well. So Irena provides the best tennis rackets in the market for natural vision improvement. She provides the best tools, and she always says that they need to be used together with a course, may it be mine or hers or some other colleagues. There's a number of very good courses on natural vision improvement out there. Welcome. I'm surprised that you arrived here, Carlos, because we were inviting people that have already taken classes with me. Somehow you are here. Be very welcome. And I hope that today's session will inspire you to learn how to take care of your eyes and improve your eyesight naturally. Do you want to continue and we take some more questions later then?
Sure then. Okay. So we talked about the shape of the holes. We talked about the size of the holes, the placement of the holes. The next thing that is important in training with Pinhole Shield is the grid, right? If you guys have used Pinhole Shields, you know that as you start looking through them, there's going to be some sort of grid that your eyes or your mind is going to become aware of. And some pinhole shields have a very distinct grid to the extent that it becomes counterproductive. It becomes so distracting that your mind, your brain starts to pay attention to the grid instead of paying attention to what is behind. And that grid is usually, how strong the grid is mostly determined by how the holes are positioned on the shield. What is the distance between the holes? What is the size of the holes? And how thick the shield is. Okay, so let's start with the thickness, because the thicker the shield, the more material your eyes have to look through, right? And if you were to take, I'm just going to make an example, which is like far, far, far off. But if you were to look at something through a tube, right? You will look at something that's far away and you will see so much material to the left and to the right. You will see the whole tube inside, right? And while obviously pinhole shields are not that thick, the thicker the shield, the more of that material you see. And because there are many of them, unlike the tube, I only have one, but in a pinhole shield, you have many of the pinholes, right? You will start to realize, or you will start to have this perception that there is this really thick grid in front of what you're looking at. And so that was one thing that I really wanted to solve. That's why our shield is as thin as it can be. It's 1 millimeter thin, right? Couldn't make it any thinner to keep it from bending and to make sure that it has the right integrity. So it's 1 millimeter thick only. So there is very little material. The walls are very thin and the eye doesn't have much to look through, right? Because it starts and immediately the pinhole ends, the shield ends. So that's one thing. And then we were paying a lot of attention to where exactly, how far apart the pinholes are placed in order to minimize that grid. And that is not a mathematical equation. That is not something that I would call scientific. It was truly a trial and error. I cannot tell you how many iterations of this we have gone through. We tried different different alignments, right? We tried regular alignments, irregular alignments. We tried to put the holes closer, further away. And then we were playing with, well, the hole size and the distance in between the holes. So I would say I have probably 100 different iterations of this that we were testing and comparing until we settled for what we have here today. Okay.
If I may, I remember you had one of the iterations where the end was not how to say smooth, but you had holes on the outer part also to make the transition to see if that worked for a better transition.
Yes.
So you really tried like so many options.
You know, we even tried, and you guys might laugh, but we even tried to make the holes oval at one point, because I mean, of course, we know that the center of the eye, right, the macula, everything is round, but we were like, well, the shape of the eye is an oval. And so we were like, what if that plays a role? So that was a no-go, by the way. That was a bad idea. That did not give us a better result. So the holes are round. But we tried crazy stuff just to see if maybe there is something else out there that would make things even better. Okay.
So like Thomas Edison, you learned 100 ways not to make good pinhole glasses until you learned the good way to make them. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that is what creates a minimal grid. When you look through these pinhole glasses, right, and you start to focus on the image that is in front of you, there's going to be a very minimal distraction from the grid. The other thing that is distracting in many plastic pinhole glasses is light reflection. Okay, light reflection happens. It happens naturally. It's everywhere. If you look out of the window, right, and you start to pay attention, you're not just seeing stuff that's outside of the window. You can notice that there is your own reflection in the window. There is the room. There is a lot of other things, right? And ultimately, any surface reflects light. So our goal was to minimize it. I wouldn't say that you can 100% eliminate light reflections, but you can try to minimize it. And so what we did was, since we had the opportunity and we were no longer working with plastic that has some limitations in this regard, and you guys know that all of our plastic shields are already matte, but they're not as matte as this one. Okay, we are using a process that is called anodizing, and we anodize the metal, right? And then it is further coated with some sort of oil/rubber coating, and it gives it this absolute velvety feel. So when you touch the glasses, they're kind of like velvet. And this combination of treatment is very matte. It's light absorbing instead of light reflecting. And it almost prevents any light that is falling on these glasses to be seen. I think you guys can see it. I have a really, really strong light in front of me, one of those that we put in front of us so people can see us. And you do not see any glare, right?
Mhm.
So that's
Yep.
how matte it is. And the other great thing is that because this treatment comes after we have already made the holes, the treatment doesn't only cover the surface of the pinholes, it also covers the inside. So again, right, the walls are very thin, we already know that, but further, they are also treated in this with this anodizing process to prevent any sort of light reflection that will be happening inside the holes.
Mm-hmm. That's very good because the idea, as Irena explained earlier, of the stenopaque effect, and that's what the pinhole glasses are trying, is to concentrate the light just to stimulate the fovea. And when there's dispersion of the light rays or reflection, then it disturbs the very function that you're supposed to provide. So yes,
Absolutely.
great.
Absolutely. So I think those are probably the biggest of the advantages of these pinholes. I think the last couple of things are more, I think, aesthetic and user-friendly. And that would be, so from aesthetic purpose, right? I mean, they are kind of pretty and they are definitely in line with the style of any of the Overbound products. They are also very large. Okay, so many pinhole glasses are small, some of them are very tiny. These are big, right? They cover everything, the whole eye, they go past your eye. And again, because peripheral vision is not covered, you don't feel like you have lost contact with your room and with what is in front of you. So the size of the actual shield allows you to use it fully as you move left and right, because you can look, you can let your eyes be free and move in a natural manner without losing the coverage of the pinholes. Okay, so that is great. And then again, I think the fact that they are frameless, right, and you really are not dealing with a thick frame on the side of the shield, that helps you with this seamless transition as you move left to right and as you are able to see all of your surroundings. So, little kind of things like that I think benefit the not just the functional experience, but the usage experience when you work with these glasses. And last but not least, they fit into what students already have, so you don't need to have a separate item. I received a question this morning about whether or not they fit into the case that we have for the Clarity Eyesight Trainer, right? And to be honest, we are on a line extension number 3 for the Eyesight Trainer. So the case is becoming a little bit crowded, but you can absolutely do it. All you would have to do is to double on some of the shields over here, right? Instead of placing one of them in a slot, you would put 2, and then you would place the pinhole shield in the front pocket, ideally attached to the frame, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, so if anybody is wondering about that, the shop that is right now open actually offers a larger case that has slots for every single item that we currently offer. But if you don't want to do that, right, or if you don't have the other attachments and you just would like to have this one, it does fit inside the case. You just have to reorganize the way you use it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I would like, I haven't warned her, but I would like to invite Diana to say a few words, because as she works in the support team of the ClearSight Method, she, like other of her colleagues, gets so many questions about pinhole glasses day in, day out. I'm sure that you have some observations and comments, maybe questions with the presentation that Irena is doing. And I also wanted to say that Irena wanted to send me a sample so I could test them, but unfortunately, the mail with Mexico sometimes takes a bit long, so I don't have them yet. I would love that. I have all of her other creations, and I love them, but not yet this sample of the pinhole glasses.
The
Diana.
good thing is that you have seen the final shield in Valencia. It's the
Yes.
same shield. It is just now presented in a more aesthetically pleasing manner.
I have seen several of the iterations, and you did show me indeed this final shield, but now it's like really ready to go on the mass production for everyone. Diana, you were going to say something.
Yes, yes, I know. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Well, yeah, the question of pinhole glasses is one of the lots of questions. It's one of the most answered and asked questions among the participants, because they ask, how do I use the pinhole? And as you said, Irena, it is a good tool, but with a course, of course, with a vision improvement course. Another thing is the size of the holes that, well, you were explaining. And, well, especially in the US, we just don't have other, only one or two webs where we can find just cheap pinhole glasses that they sometimes don't work. And as I know, I was saying, well, I was one of the ones as participants that had to turn or shift, the glass because they didn't work. So this tool that you are presenting now, Irena, is so good, so well done, so studied to serve the purpose of the pinhole glasses. Because this is the question among participants: where can I find good pinhole glasses? And we know that, well, in Europe we have many schools and other webs, but, well, this is specific, studied, and I like the fact of the peripheral view open, of not having a frame, because pinhole glasses per se, the ones we buy, they have a frame, yeah? And we also talk about glasses, how the frame, in a way, it's a barrier for all the peripheral view, all the field of view we have, and that we can improve. So yes, the question of pinhole glasses is the most answered, and we generally tell them, okay, you can buy in certain stores, the most common ones, but they are just, well, we have to try many of them. We have to buy and try, and we end up with, I don't know how many pinhole glasses until we find the right one, if there is one. But this is a wonderful tool, Irena. So thank you so much for this.
Well, you're very welcome. Diana, can you bring those pinhole glasses up that you just had?
Yeah, I will. I don't know if with this background you can see it.
Can you see the light reflection, everybody?
Yeah.
Can you see how much the light reflects of the surface of the,
Yeah.
and even some that don't have the pinhole itself as shiny, right? They have shiny frames. They have shiny frames. In Overbound, we don't have shiny frames, right? We want to make sure that there is no light reflection anywhere. So if we put these two, right, side by side right now, you can see,
tricky,
right?
yeah.
See, Ainhoa has a pair that is better, that has more matte inside.
Yeah.
The frame is still shiny, right? So you are still going to be dealing with the light reflecting off of the frame and making it harder to see, right? I don't want to say that they are useless, but they will definitely be, right? They are absolutely not. But they will definitely be harder to use, especially the ones that Diana has.
Yeah, they have matte here, but they are, as you said, this is reflection, this is light reflection, because this is, you know, shiny. Yeah, yeah.
In Valencia, you may remember that we had these
Oh, yes.
Yep.
We
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. I
for
love
the
that.
keys. And they're matte on this side, they're shiny on this. Of course, this is just a little gadget for just
Of
in case.
course.
They're not like pinhole glasses. They're very, very small. Some have very, very small holes. At least the holes are smaller on this side because they're flat. But yeah, these are your kind of standard pinhole glasses. And they are useful. But the design that Irena is showing us is a lot more fine-tuned for what we want to do with them. Yeah. So I have been receiving a number of written questions, and I see there's a few people with their hands up. I don't know if you wanted to tell us more things, or it's time to.
I think we should just take the
questions.
questions. That's why I'm
Okay.
here.
So I was reading, Laura was asking if you wear the this is an easy one, if you wear the pinhole glasses on the top of your corrective glasses. No.
Yeah, no, you do not, right? You're trying to like double on correction, and that is not what you want to do, right? The pinhole glasses are there to give your brain a prime example of what it looks like to look at something at certain distance and to see it clearly without an optical, meaning diopter correction, right? It
Yes.
is still an optical correction, even with the pinholes, because there is an optical adjustment, but it is not a diopter. So
yeah, it's of different nature. And the prescription glasses, they compensate the refractive errors that you have, but and they are useful. But the drawback is that they tend to make you dependent on them, and they tend to chronify the problem instead of helping you get over the problem. And the pinhole glasses are a training tool to learn your eyes, to teach your eyes the good habits and the ways of looking that allow your eyes to see by themselves better and better. So yes, it's a tool, and you'll use it at times, but it helps you improve central fixation, movement, relaxation, the saccadic movement of the eyes. So when you stop using the pinhole glasses, you tend to see better than before using them. Whereas the prescription glasses, after you use them, you tend to see worse than before using them. So there's a big difference between the two tools and what's the objective and the tactics they use. Yeah.
absolutely.
So I see Tom is asking, will these pinhole glasses help with someone who always has had 20/20 vision until the age of 60, and so now at age 70 needs plus 1.5 cheaters for the computer and small print books?
Yes, so of course, right? And again, like I said, if you just put them on, yes, you will see better at that distance, right? You will use them, you will look, and that's great. But I think your goal is probably not just to put them on and look at the computer or read a book, but your goal is to get your near vision back. And with the right process, you can absolutely use this tool. And again, guys, I will call it a tool, right? Tools are to help us get somewhere. Tools help us create the right environment, the easiest possible way of teaching ourselves a certain skill. And it doesn't matter what skill it is that we're learning. And so the pinhole glasses are a tool that creates the most ideal environment for us to teach the eyes how to see clearly again from a specific distance, whether that is up close or whether that is far away. So for Thomas, right, yes, you would be using them to reteach yourself how to see properly up close. And it's going to be likely, it could be the only thing you would do, but likely there would be other things that you would incorporate into the way you treat your eyes and into the way you use them so that your vision can be better overall.
Okay, well, Shanna White that I just highlighted has just ordered the pinhole glasses and the big case too. And she's very happy to have the case that fits all the Irena tools. And she's thanking us both. I think we have to thank you, especially for these 3 years of perseverance to create everything. Yay! She got the baby.
This is the slot for the pinhole right there.
Mhm. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I hope you love it.
Mhm.
Yes, someone unmuted me. So, yeah, I have all of your tools but not all of them fit in the original case. So I'm so excited to have this other case because I really need the help with the organization.
Yeah. Yeah, you can put them in various spots. We have been capable of like placing, the clip in the center and cards in the back and all sorts of things. But yeah, it has come a time when I felt like for those of you who actually have all the tools, it would be nice to have something that fits them better at this point.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to scratch anything. And
I have everything also in the box. I don't have the big box yet.
and while I know, to be honest, I have one sample, and this is what I have shown you. So it is coming to me just as it will be coming to all of you in October. But yeah, and that particular case actually has a spot for the pinhole. The pinhole is a different shape. It does have a different shape than all the other shields. So it is going to be nice to have a spot. Now, it is not delicate, okay? It is made of aluminum, but it is not easily bendable. It is not delicate. Of course, if you step on it, it is not going to survive, but under normal circumstances, it's going to hold its shape really nicely. That's also why it has this holding top, right, to protect the correct shape of the shield, and then it is ultimately unbendable in the other direction. So not delicate, but it is nice to have a correct spot. And like I said, if you don't have the big case, I would suggest that you actually place it on the frame and place it in the very front of the case, and move some of the other shields elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. You're going to say something else, Shanna?
Yes. I appreciate your thorough explanation today because it makes it very clear that there aren't any other options to choose from if someone wants the best option, because you have actually pioneered the path. Like there was no production path for it prior to your pioneering. So that's like, I like to research everything really deeply and to equip myself with the best. And you've just made it very clear that the best is right here.
Well, thank you. It is my goal to give people the tools that will make it the easiest possible for them to practice. And then they don't have to spend time making tools and adjusting tools and figuring out how they should work. They can spend their valuable time on the actual practice, right? And we all know that without the practice, there is no vision improvement. So any minute that we can steer to actually do the work versus to struggle with not optimal tools, that is always a positive. And I know that it's not always possible for everybody. I get it, right? But my goal is to put products out there that can help you really focus on the task, which is the practice and which is the improvement of your vision.
Thank you so much, Irena, for this objective. And thank you, Shanna. Charlie is asking, hello, I see that the shield does not come without a frame, but I did not see the frame sold separately. Where can I get the frame? Maybe you can show us the website, which is, by the way, exquisitely designed. As usually, everything you do is beautiful and clear.
All right. Well, let me, hold on, give me a sec.
So
yes,
so just the pinhole and everything else if they want to.
Yes, so you are correct. The frame does not come separate. The frame is available as part of the Clarity Eyesight Trainer. And the Clarity Eyesight Trainer is ultimately a collection of the most basic vision training shields that you would use in natural vision improvement. Okay, so it has monocular shields and it has binocular shields that are used, I would say, in 90% of vision improvement processes and techniques. Okay, so Ainhoa is showing you all of these different things. I am going to go ahead and see if I can get to my website.
Yeah, those are the ones I just showed are the basic tool, and then there's the butterfly one, and then there's also the nose card holder that also fits into the system. The nose card holder is sold separately. Irena can tell us about it, but it also fits in the frame. Comes with different colors of up to stimulate the eyes separately when there's difference between one eye and the other. With different colors, while Irena looks for the website. I keep showing you stuff.
Yeah, I have the website. I'm just trying to figure out how to best show it. I think I'm gonna hold here.
Yeah. And Irena has also designed very, very nice bowls for practice. A lot of us use whatever bowl we have at home. I always say if you have a bowl for the cat, the stress ball, or a juggling ball, or whatever, a tennis ball, you can use it. But these are designed particularly for natural vision improvement practice. There you have the website.
Ainhoa, can you guys see the page?
Yes, it's the general page. I'm not sure you're showing the pinhole
Did you want me
glasses
to go?
specifically.
Did you want me to go rather to the store?
Maybe, yeah, sure. Show the store where people can purchase the pinhole glasses and the basic.
I was going to
clarity
show
trainers.
first the Clarity Trainer, right? So the
Go ahead.
Clarity Trainer, you guys can see on this picture over here, right?
Yes.
It comes with the frame and then all of these shields that click in. So there's a left and the right occluder. And again, I know I was just showing you that. And then there are 3 different binocular occluders. Those are used for peripheral vision training, for the development of your ability to see movement, relative movement, and many, many other, for the expansion of the field of view and many other skills. And the monocular shields, again, I would say you use those for almost any skill you want to train, because those allow you to train one eye at a time. Right, and that is very helpful because they give the eye and the brain an opportunity to create their own good relationship before you bring the eyes together and work on eye partnership, eye coordination, and so on and so on. Okay, but let me, I guess, go to the shop. And I'll go to this one because this one has everything, right? So you need the Clarity Eyesight Trainer, and I jumped into the promo shop that is now open all the way until Sunday the 9th. And this Clarity Eyesight Trainer right here, you can see all the 5 shields that it comes with. It comes with the frame. It also comes with a headband for anybody who wants to use these while jumping on a rebounder, on a trampoline, or doing any other kind of walking physical activities when you would feel like you want the frame to fit tighter. In general, it is not necessary, but we did make it available just in case. And into this frame fit all of the other attachments, right? So all of the attachments that look like a shield, they fit into it. So the pinhole shield is one of them. The next one is the field of view separator, right? That is a swiveling clip that holds cards that help to separate the left and the right field of view. And they help with the development of binocular vision. They make sure that both your left and the right eye are working well with the brain, and eventually that they work well together. Butterfly shield takes it even a step further. Once your eyes are both working about equally, it teaches them how to pass the visual signals between themselves and how to improve the engagement of the eyes and the partnership. Okay. And then so those are the 3 attachments that are sold separate: the field of view separator, the butterfly shield, and the pinhole shield. And they all fit into the frame that is sold with the Clarity Eyesight Trainer. We do not sell the frame separate. Okay. And then we do have other tools. We have the collimator tubes, which are again, a very high quality and high functionality tool that if you were to make it at home, you would probably use paper towel tubes. So we have these, and then we have juggling balls for vision improvement and Brock strings that are separate. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you guys wanted to see kind of some details about how they work and what they do, when you click on the link that Ainhoa has given you, and it drives you to the website, to whichever page, doesn't matter. Over here on top, you have training tools, right? And when you click on the training tools, you can click on any of these pictures, right? So let's say we click on collimator tubes, and it gives you all the information about what this tool does and how it has been built. And just like I explained today with the pinholes, right? It will explain to you why the different attributes of the product are in existence and what they do for your vision improvement.
Mm. The tubes are basically the only tool that doesn't fit in the case. You can fit one ball. I mean, you cannot fit the 3 juggling balls, but you can have about everything. This is the standard case. It's not even the special
Yes,
one.
you have the standard
I have
case.
and I have everything in it. The only
Mhm.
thing that doesn't fit is
Yeah,
this.
the tubes are too big. They are too big to fit.
Yeah. But Irena has really been very thoughtful in all her designs to make things easy for practice. There's a bunch of go
Yeah,
ahead,
we have a
Irena.
lot of
Go ahead, Irena.
questions.
There's a lot of
So
questions.
if you
Yes,
have time, I still have some time and we can answer a few more.
absolutely, Diana. And
Yes, one question, Irena. When we buy the Clarity trainers for the first time, we receive it in the standard case. I
Correct.
understand. The other one has to be bought separately.
Yes.
The larger one. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
is my goal in the future to offer a kind of full package, but it is not ready yet.
Okay, thank you.
Joanna was asking a similar question to Charmy. I noticed the shield on the website, but if we don't have the kits, the Clarity Eyesight trainers, is there an option to get the frame and shield only? No, you need to get the Clarity
Correct.
Eyesight trainers. But if you want the pinhole glasses in the context of following a natural vision improvement course, you will want the shields also for the training of your eyes and your brain. So
yeah, you will absolutely need them. You will be asked to make them. So if you're considering getting the pinhole sheet, you will much benefit from the other shields. Like I said, they are kind of the very basic, the very starter occluders for natural vision improvement.
okay.
We have lots of hands up. I
Yes,
see
do you want
Holly, Stacy, Elizabeth.
Okay, let's hear some of them and then we'll keep reading some more. Some people are asking, when is my next course happening? In English, the next scheduled course will be in September, for those that are wondering about that. So Stacy.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for hosting this. I have, I guess, a more specific question since it seems like that's what's being asked. On your site, so this is what I hate. I have to wear contacts to see far, and then I have to use these for up close. So is there different, obviously I keep seeing that you have different types of shields. Is there a way to find out specifically which one I should be using? And then also, is there a protocol? I know, Ainhoa, you said, taking a course with one of you. So can you tell me a little bit more about that and like how I would specifically purchase what I need as opposed to what's blanket for everybody? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Okay.
And I have a very simple answer.
Yeah.
So vision is a compound of numerous visual skills, right? It's not that you can fix one tiny little piece, and by fixing that one tiny little piece, you're done, right? There most likely you have deficits in various visual skills, and various visual skills, some you will have better abilities with, and some you will have worse, right? And you don't really know that until you go through an array of all of these visual skills and you discover what are the ones that you struggle with and what are the ones that you're better at, and you learn to improve the ones that you need to improve and then incorporate them all together. Okay. And that is not specific to any visual conditions, right? There are some visual conditions that require a lot more dedication to the practice of certain skills, but the skills as a whole are the same for every single person, right? And once you acquire these skills, then you can see better. And the tools that we have, all of them support all of these, the practice of all of these different visual skills, right? And if you were to start, if it was a person who's never done anything, I would tell you, you need at a minimum the left and the right occluder, and you need the binocular occluders to start your training, right? And then as you go, you may discover that you need more support for binocular development. You need more support for eye coordination. And those are the shields that you can perhaps buy later, right? But that is why the starter kit looks like it does, because that is useful for every single person, whether you're farsighted, nearsighted, you have strabismus, amblyopia, astigmatism, you name it, right? You will be teaching yourself the visual skills that these shields support. And that's why, right? That's why you need a full course. That's why you can't just pick a little thing off of the internet and say, I'm going to do this. Because the little thing off of the internet, it will likely be correct. It may teach you the right thing, but vision is not one thing. And unless you have gone through the complexity of what vision is, then it's really difficult to even decide what to focus on. Does that make sense?
It does.
And I will let Ainhoa to add whatever she would like to add to it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, if you want to say something, but otherwise I'll give the perspective of the course designer and
yeah, I would definitely love to hear that as well. So I guess I'm kind of okay, what's my next step? So obviously it's not purchase the frame or the shield, it's bigger. So tell me what's my next step if I want to heal my eyesight.
So probably first step is join a course that speaks to you. And now let me give you the perspective of the course teacher or course designer. Before Irena started designing her tools, and it's amazing to see this happen in real life and how year after year she's creating more and more things. And Irena knows about this because she's been in the team for a while. In one of the first lessons, we have a PDF and a video explaining in order to be able to practice this course, you're going to need a number of items. Some of them you have at home, and you can do pins for the clothes or maybe for your hair, and a string from your shoes, and Post-it notes, and a tennis ball, and some colorful pens. And so we give you a list of things that you're going to be needing to use, and a shiny object, and the art that Irena, so there's a whole list of things. And some of them is you just need a ball. Okay, you find the ball, that's it. But some of them, it required buying cardboard and cutting things and gluing things and putting them together. And some people are good with handicrafts, and some people are better and dislike it and don't want to spend the time. But it was almost a starting point. You're gonna have to spend, I don't know how many minutes, hours, days putting together your toolkit so that you can actually practice the things that we're going to teach you in a way that will help you improve your eyesight. And now we can offer people the choice. So if you love your scissors and your glue and your cardboard and you want to save money, you have the choice to do these things. And if you'd rather be comfortable and have optimal tools, and you're willing to invest, then you can buy Irena's tools. And what's also amazing about Irena is that she's really been choosing. I mean, some of the items have taken longer because of the production complexity, such as the pinhole glasses, but she's been really choosing in order of usefulness to the community. What should I design first? What's more complex to find good quality? Okay, so then I design that. For example, to have a pointer with a red point, you don't need Irena Castle to do this. You can find it. I mean, you buy a skewer, you paint it red with your fingernail polish thing, and that's it. You don't need something sophisticated. And let me show you another one. The anaglyphic ones, actually, you can find these very cheap on paper, and they already have the functionality because you need to be able to bend them on both sides. So maybe at some point, Irena will create some like this, but this is good enough as it is presented in the market at the moment. So you don't need Irena's sophistication for that. But she did spend the time to design the nose guard holder that she's wearing now, because it really has functionalities that if you do it yourself, you won't find. It doesn't fall. You can choose the angle you want. You have different choices of colors. Really, you cannot do this with blue tack. It will fall apart. Again, as a course designer, we're going to tell you what tools you're going to be needing to train your eyesight, and you have the choice. You can make them, or you can purchase the ready-made, well-designed by Irena.
Yeah, vision improvement cannot really happen without tools, right? The tools are what creates the environment in which the eyes can learn the skills that you want to learn. And you need the tools. It's not possible to do it otherwise, or it's absolutely inefficient and ineffective. So some things can be done without occluders, obviously, but you may need different tools and different ways of doing it. And, you know, like I said, like you want to focus on the practice. Most people struggle the most with finding the time and focusing on the practice. Right. And that's the one thing that everybody needs to do in order to get the results.
So start with a course from one of you, or again, I just want to know, like, what should I be doing right now?
Yeah, a course is probably the best starting point. And again, choose someone that you resonate with. There's a number of us offering online courses, in-person courses. So whatever works better for you, if you happen to be in an area that there's someone you can work one-on-one or in group or in person, online. I mean, there's a number of choices in the market and many very good courses. So fortunately nowadays. I mean, you're here. I would love if you purchase mine, but I have great respect also for many of our very esteemed and great colleagues. So trust your heart, trust your own criteria, and you'll probably make a good choice.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I see Holly.
Yeah, she just removed her camera. There's also Elizabeth Carney with her hand up. Elizabeth, if you want to
Hello.
mute yourself, there you are.
Hello.
I'm so grateful to be with all of you. Shauna is one of our favorite magic co-students from our time with this class. Diana has been bringing us guidance and support for Dr. Ainhoa's course, so I'm just so happy to be with all of you today. I think it's especially wonderful because we haven't chosen our pinhole glasses. Something was keeping us back, and now we know we were waiting for Irena. So
Well, thank
yay.
you.
I'm sending up a lot of little hearts.
Thank you.
And some of us were invited to this moment to investigate the Overbound Eyesight products, and especially the pinhole glasses, which it sounds to me like in order to get properly, we need the new aluminum shield. We need the trainers to hold them in. and then a case for those things. So if we were putting those all in our shopping basket, because that's some of us Americans are very direct and straightforward, then what would be the things on our list? Did I say the 3 things on our list? I understand that it won't be, oh, just 2 things. So
Well, you need to have the frame, right? So if you already
yes,
own the Clarity Eyesight Trainer,
no,
then
no,
but if you do not, then yes, you would need a Clarity Eyesight Trainer,
good.
and then you would need the Pinhole Shield.
Okay, great. And
Okay, so
that
those are
comes
the
with a
2 things.
case that can
It already
hold.
comes with a case,
Okay,
right? The Clarity Eyesight Trainer already comes with a case. And
okay.
like I know I was showing you, you can fit everything in it. Now, for people who have been with me and kind of using the Overbound tool since they launched in 2021, we have since launched the Butterfly Shield, right? And we launched the field of view separator, the clip, the nose guard. And because there are more and more tools, that is why I decided to also bring on a larger case that better houses all of these tools. So you have an option. If you are just buying the Clarity Eyesight Trainer and a pinhole, you probably don't need to buy the large case. But if you're thinking of purchasing all of them or over time purchasing all of them, then you may want to add the case to your list. The case is not something that's going to be out there available all the time. That's not going to be like my normal line item. We will probably every once in a while do a pre-sale and then order the quantity that people need. So if somebody wants the case, now is the time. Plus the pinhole launch has allowed me to give you guys a very rare opportunity to get all of these tools at super good prices. And I think Diana and Ainhoa can kind of confirm that I don't discount my tools. It is very rare to discount my tools, and I have never ever opened a shop with a discount for all of these items. But I felt like since we've been waiting for the pinholes for so long, and I don't know, I was just really happy. Like when my factory said we can go and we can start to introduce them to your clients, then I was just really happy. So I was like, what the heck, let's just go and do it and give anybody a chance who's been waiting and maybe, saying, well, I don't have quite enough money, to give you guys a chance to save some money and get the tools if you want them. So it's a rare occasion. If you want it, now is the time until Sunday the 9th.
So I should be following my friend Shauna in purchasing the trainers, in purchasing the shield attachment, and then somehow I should indicate on my purchase that I want the larger case.
You
Or
would
do
just
I have
add
to end
that
up
to
with
the
2?
list. The case is there in the shop and you can see it. Yeah.
You click on the button.
But then I end up with
It's the
2,
case.
no?
I will show it one more time if that's.
No,
Yes,
but then
please.
I end up with 2 cases?
The big
You
and
would,
the
yes, because the trainer is going to come in the smaller case.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already packaged like that, so you would end up with 2 cases. Yes.
And the shop right now shows the discount. We're so
does.
grateful for this gesture that you're making. And still, we also need to order a little bit more patience because we need to wait until October. Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
And will you throw that in, or is that extra? That
Um,
patience.
The patience you do have to
bring
wait.
yourself.
Yeah, sorry.
But let me ask Irena, waiting until October is only for the pinhole shield. The other items can come sooner since they are usually in production. Can you clarify that? If someone
So if you
purchasing
order
a number
them
of
at the
things-
discount in the pre-sale shop, then all of it is going to come at
Okay.
once.
Okay.
So
Everything
everything
in
is going to
October.
come in one package in October. If somebody needs something soon, you just go to the regular shop on the website and you can order the items individually. But if you have a pre-sale item, and let me share it just really quickly one more time. If you are shopping in the pre-sale shop, right, and you see that it says pre-sale on every single image,
Okay,
right?
yeah, all of them say
If you
October,
have
yes.
one single pre-sale item in your order, they will all ship in October. So
Okay.
again, if you want something sooner, you can click here on the shop, right? And then you can see the products available
normal
there,
price.
but they are not going to come with the same discount.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
that's very clear. Thank you very much. Very, very clear.
Okay, well, thank you,
Very
Shauna,
good.
for showing us the way, and I'm right behind you.
All right, very good. Well, thank you, Elizabeth. We've got June, Holly, if they still want to ask their questions.
June is with us, so
Hi.
you can go
Hi.
ahead.
Hi.
June.
Hello. Oh, so nice to be here. I'm sorry I came in late, and so I realize I've missed quite a lot of valuable information. However, I'm really interested in buying the equipment, and I just wanted to ask if when you buy all the different pieces of the equipment, does it come with a video with you showing us what to do, or do you have a course where you show us how to use each piece and for how long and what they're meant to be doing for your eye problems? Or I suppose I'm just a bit worried about spending quite a lot of money and getting lots of bits of equipment and not really knowing what to do with each one. Yeah.
Yes, so let me ask you back, June. Have you taken a class for natural vision improvement?
I've taken Claudia Morlingveg's class
Okay.
last summer.
Okay.
I think that was for 12 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah,
I
very
haven't.
good.
Yeah.
So my answer is kind of twofold. So first, different teachers suggest slightly different usage with these tools, right? And again, these
Right.
tools support the natural vision improvement courses that are provided by many different teachers. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have already taken Claudia's course, then you will kind of naturally know what to do because she is using either these tools or she suggests that people make their tools just
Make
like
them.
I know I was explaining before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going
Yeah.
to be intuitive. And
Yeah.
yes, with the Clarity Eyesight Trainer, when you buy the main kit, there
Yeah.
is a free guide, I would call it. I wouldn't call it a course because it is not an
No.
A to Z class. It's not something
Yeah.
that takes you through every single visual skill and teaches you how to improve your vision, but it
Yes.
does teach you the things that you need to know about the tools themselves, about
Yeah.
the products, right? And so
Yeah.
it will make sure that you know how to take care of it. It will make sure that you know that you should be using monocular shields when you practice techniques that require monocular occlusion,
Yeah.
right? And there are
Yes.
some examples of certain techniques that that indicate how you should be using it, but it is a guide. It is not a full class. So for
Yeah.
those people who have never done any natural vision improvement, that's not
Yeah.
going to be sufficient, right? You will
Yeah.
still need somebody to guide you through the process
Yeah.
of the actual method because these are
Yes.
only the tools.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And Aya, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but your course, does it use Irena's equipment? If I
Actually,
order the equipment from you and then I come on your
yes.
course, do you use it?
Yes, nowadays I said earlier, answering somebody else's question, that we used to have one of the first lessons, like a PDF and a video explaining how to make the tools. And it's been a while ago that Irena and I recorded a video together talking about her tools, the handmade ones, the pros and cons, and having the options. But yes, if you join the ClearSight method, you will be using the tools that Irena is designing.
Yes.
If you purchase them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
So there's a number of written questions also. Shall we read some of them, as many as possible?
Yeah, sure. If people still have time, I
Yes.
am here.
So let's see, Roxanne, I would like to buy everything I need for the course on the sale price, and there is no one price package for everything. Can you give a list of items so I don't? Well, I think it's kind of a similar question of what people have already been asking in person. If you purchase Irena's items, you're gonna need them in the ClearSight method. So, I mean, and maybe a few more things, but again, they're easier to do yourself. So you can go on Irena's website, and if you want to get everything, you're going to use everything in the course. Let's see. So Joanne and Carmi, we already read. Diana, I don't know if they wrote to you also.
Well, Roxanne wrote to me too, and I told her,
Okay.
you can buy the clarity trainers, the
Yes.
pinhole shield, the butterfly. They will be used throughout the course. But also, you have, and me being with the participants, I also received the question, do we have a web to acquire all the materials together, because I don't want to cut, or I don't want, okay, there you have the response. Irena Castle's products and tools, they are wonderful. So yes, of course.
They're asking for the link where they can order in the chat, in the Zoom chat. I think you have it at hand. Maybe you can, Diana or Irena,
Let's see.
post it there. Okay.
And
And
do you have
Julie,
it?
yes. Okay, let me read more questions while you're posting that. So Shana, that had already ordered, okay, saying actually she was advising someone else that was speaking. I think it was Judith. She should be starting your course in September. Well, that would be a good idea. So I see that Diana has already posted the link for everyone who wants to purchase the various products by Irena Castle with this launch pre-sale with pinhole glasses. Tom was asking, will these pinhole glasses help with someone? Oh, we already read that. Will the pinhole glasses help if someone has an astigmatism? Yes. Pinhole glasses help with other refractive errors, whether it's myopia or nearsightedness, hyperopia or farsightedness, presbyopia, or the need of reading glasses that, quote, comes with age, they tell us. Not true, but common, and astigmatism, for sure. Maybe you want to add more on this, Irena?
No, I mean, it helps with other things, right?
As
Like
well.
these are the basic refractive errors, but they can actually be used for more difficult situations when we try to stimulate missing areas of vision and other things. So yeah, absolutely.
Tom is asking, what is the butterfly clip for? And yes, Tom, the Clarity Eyesight Trainer does not include the Pinhole Shield. It's sold apart. Yes.
Yes, correct. And the description is very clear in every single one of these items. You know, if you're uncertain, just click on it and see what the description shows, what the pictures are showing you. I make sure that it's very clear that the attachments, the individual attachments, do not include the frame, right? That is important for everyone to know. So it is the Clarity Eyesight Trainer kit with the 5 shields that includes the frame and the case and some of the other parts.
Okay, let's see. Alison, will the shop be open soon, as I'd like to buy Irena's pinholes before I have to go out just after 7? Thank you. I don't know what your time zone is, but I think the shop is already open, right?
Yeah, the shop is already open. It opened on Sunday and it will be open until Sunday, the 9th of August. I am very particular about not extending any time. So if you are a procrastinator, don't procrastinate too much. Okay.
Yep.
When I say that something ends, it does.
Yep. Hard deadline. Uzma is asking, typically, how long does it takes before people can start to see improvements in their vision? This is a very common question we get when people start practicing natural vision improvement. And every pair of eyes and persons are different. However, my experience is that with the first practices, if you are really present and aware and paying attention, you will notice changes from the very first practices. Now, the change is cumulative and not linear. It tends to go a bit like this, right? There's moments where you improve and then you get stagnant, and maybe you regress a bit, and then you learn more and you improve. I mean, it's non-linear, but as you're present and paying attention and being curious, all of the phases are useful, because even when you regress, you learn why when you're in the context of a course that's teaching you how this all works. Now, most people have very, very tangible changes in a time that goes between 1 month to 3 months of practice, that really they consider it changes the quality of their lifestyle. Now, it's different between starting points, commitments, levels of improvement that you implement, openness to change. We've had students that, for example, came with minus 18 diopters of myopia. Actually, sorry, I think I'm actually, yeah. Was it Digna? Did she had 18 or 18, right? So for her, but that's a really high myopia. It took her 9 months to get to being autonomous without glasses. But most people don't have 18 diopters, right? Okay, maybe you want to add some more comments on this very, very common, usual question.
Yeah, I think I absolutely agree with everything you said. The only thing I would add perhaps is that some skills sometimes come faster to some people than others, and some elements of vision can come faster, right? So what we see improve super fast is that if you practice it correctly, your peripheral awareness, your spatial awareness, it can expand dramatically in the matter of days, right?
Yes.
Even in the matter of one sitting, one practice session. So it just depends, right? Like, because vision is not one thing. It's not just what I see clearly at certain distance, right? There are so many different elements that the cause or that you have to put together that form vision, that some things come faster than others, but like Ainhoa said, if you practice it, for most people the improvement is quite phenomenal.
We have been carrying international research now for over 1.5 years with longitudinal measurements of vision improvement of people practicing natural vision improvement. And the results are very conclusive, both for far distance and near distance. If you practice, you improve. So the ball is on your side. You want to practice, right? And also what Irena says is so true. Some aspects of vision improve much faster than others in the same person. But every time something improves, it's proving to you that you can improve your eyesight. A lot of people believe that improving eyesight is impossible. Once you've done the impossible once, even if it's a tiny bit, well, you know that you can do the impossible in other areas as well. So if how your visual field is broad, now I'm looking for my words in English, sorry, not my mother tongue. Once your visual field becomes wider and broader, well, that's a change. If your sensitivity to light, you are photosensitive, decreases, that's a change. If you have dry eye and it's now moist, that's a change. If you see one line of the eye chart better, that's a change. If you see 3D better, that's a change. So, and all of them keep building on top of each other for massive change and improvement in your well-being and your lifestyle, basically, and your autonomy, your freedom. So worth the trip, even if it takes time, and that time varies from one person to another. Monica is asking, what are the tubes? Mm-hmm. Tell what these are for.
Yeah, so these tubes, they help, again, just like many other tools, they help different things, but ultimately the biggest usage is for making sure that both of your eyes are working, that the brain is taking visual signals not from one eye, but from both of them. So they are great for the reduction of amblyopia. They are also excellent for anybody who's dealing with turning eye, with strabismus. And they are also an excellent tool for, and that is for everybody, right? To teach us how to properly focus and how to make sure that our eyes are aligned and they are looking at the same spots. So these particular tubes, usually when we work with tubes, we start with the tubes being just open, right? And we look through them with one eye and then both eyes together, and we follow specific steps of how to align the tubes and how to look through them and in what direction and what have you. And then over time, we begin to add normally, if you make them at home, you use a string or something that you kind of tape over your paper towel tubes, right? Over here with the Overbound tools, you just screw the attachments in. And what these do is that they give you excellent feedback for which eye is looking, how it is looking, where it is looking, and you make sure that practicing again the techniques that you learn in natural vision courses, you teach yourself how to use these tools and use the feedback that they provide to better direct your brain, and then the brain directs the eyes and gives you the seeing that you want. Okay.
And a couple of advantage over the paper towel tubes. Again, they're black, so what you're looking at pops better than with the brownish cardboard of the towel tubes. And also you don't have things falling in your eyes. So these are very clean.
Yeah, no paper dust. They are perfectly round, right? And it is somewhat the roundness that we do want, especially when we combine what the left eye sees with the right eye. Also, the slits over here in the middle, they are truly in the middle. So if you're trying to create a cross, if you're trying to target something on a wall while looking through these tools, right? It is easy when you get directed to see a circle and a cross. Excuse me.
Our dear Elizabeth Haransky-Beck, our dear colleague and also author of a book on natural vision improvement. Well, she had to leave, but she was here and she wrote, I love being in the presence of two legends and those who you're sharing with. Well, thank you. I hope that you will look at the recording and you can see how we say hi and we appreciate you and acknowledge you too for your work in natural vision improvement. Simone has her hand up. Maybe we can give her. She's one of the colleagues collaborating in the international research, by the way, and she's an optometrist. So it's particularly nice to have her being part of this. Simone.
Hi, Simone.
Yeah, I have a problem with pinholes glasses because when I try to use, with each eye, I see better, but I see each eye at a different level. So I cannot use them really. So there is a solution for that?
Well, I mean, there are several different holes. So theoretically, each eye can choose the hole that it wants to use, right? But obviously, natural vision improvement, we would try to see if there are other tools that can help you adjust the fact that each eye is looking in a slightly different level or direction.
That's a big, because of that, or the consequence of, I have a very high astigmatism. I couldn't improve. I improve a lot my vision with exercise, and I don't use almost glasses, only for the computer. But the astigmatism is still here. So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, in your case, probably if you wanted to practice with them, if it's not possible to practice with both eyes, you would have to practice with each eye separately and ultimately cover a portion of the shield in order to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I read Jackie. She was asking about the size of the holes, but Irena already spoke about that. She was asking for the website, but Diana also sent the link. And she wants to know if I am doing a course anytime soon. The next time is going to be in, I believe, September, October in English. Yeah, so that's the answer. By the way, those who have already signed up for the ClearSight method, remember that you have access to the pre-recorded program for a lifetime. So you don't need to re-register to it again so that you can use Irena's tools. Now, if you want to participate in the 8-week-long live dynamic, that you can join again if you want. You can sign up for it. Tatiana has her hand up.
Hi, Tatiana.
While Tatiana is looking for the
You're
button
muted.
to unmute herself, maybe I read a couple more questions.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you now.
My question is, I am blind on one eye, the left one. So what is your experience with this kind of people like me, using all those tools, like you were showing all those, like those two tubes, balancing, both sides equally, or whatever. So what is your suggestion?
Okay, so
What
from
should
my
I do?
perspective, Tatiana, there would be a lot of focus on, depending on what the reason is for why your eye does not see, right? That's critical. I
Well,
don't know if you want to
I
share
was
or not.
okay. I had brain surgery, and the tumor damaged my eye nerve. That's how I lost the vision. So before I was fine. I was okay. That was 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Okay.
So,
it may be irreversible. We never know. There are ways in natural vision improvement where we try to revive as much of the vision as is left, right? And some of these tools help with it. The tools that separate the left and the right field of view, including the pinholes, unless you have, you
I
did have
already
brain surgery,
ordered your pinhole. I just realized that could help me.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah.
And I don't think we mentioned that for anyone who does order the pinhole glasses during the pre-sale, you guys are getting a 30-day access to a class that will teach you how to use them, right? And that is a true class. So you can follow whatever course you're following, whether Ainhoa's or anybody else's, and obviously use them in a way your teacher is suggesting, because that's always the best. But for those of you who either have already completed a course or you want my perspective of it, especially since these pinholes have a lot of extra features, right? I will be teaching that in that class, and you will have 30 days to go through it and learn these things. And one of the things I will teach, Tatiana, is what to do when you have missing parts of vision in an eye. Okay. In your case, you probably don't have any vision, but I have worked with people who had very, very, very bad vision in an eye, and we were using that same technique that I will be teaching in that class to revive as much of it as we can. And you never know what the result is going to be. For some people, it's wonderful. For other people, it's a little bit of vision here, a little bit of vision there, but any improvement is always better than none. So yeah, but for the rest of the tools, right? Sometimes you just work with one eye. Sometimes if you separate the left from the right and you see if you can revive some of that vision in the left eye, these tools are for it. But your situation is very particular, and I think you would have to go into it with that attitude.
Okay.
Tatiana, as Irena said, you never know how far you can go with improvement. Sometimes it's irreversible, and sometimes improvement can happen. It depends on the cause, and it depends on the person. It depends on many things. But if you believe there's nothing that can be done, why would you do anything about it? But if you think that there's an opportunity or a possibility for change and you go into the practice, you can see how far you can go with it. I can tell you, we have had in our community, in the ClearSight Method, people with optic nerve damage that have recovered full eyesight with the eye.
That's what I was wondering. It's
I cannot
possible.
promise. I cannot
know, but
promise
it's
you that it will
possible
be your case.
the optical nerve could extend.
We have had cases of people who succeeded with it, and a couple of decades ago, they would tell you if there's damage in the nerves, there's nothing you can do about it. And now neuroscience knows more and more about neuroplasticity and neurogenesis.
Exactly.
It's just I have to set up my mind, my brain. I know I have to. It's a lot of work to set up my thinking.
Absolutely.
And to just
We have had, and Diana knows him personally because they were training in the same generation in the vision coach training. We had a man from Colombia. He was in, I believe, near his 80s, so probably older than you. He had lost like one eye completely 30 years ago. He didn't see for 30 years with the one eye. And the other eye, he had only 30% vision left because he had had some hemorrhage.
Bleeding, yes.
Bleeding.
Retinal bleeding, yes.
Oh,
so, like, legally blind, very, very impaired. The more recent eye that had the damage from the bleeding, he recovered completely quite fast. The other eye that had been lost for 30 years, he started seeing first contrast, then shapes, then he would see in black and white. And during the graduation, we heard him shout, "Now I can see the color of your dress," with the eye that was blind for 30 years. And it was so funny because it was really the last day of the course of the training program. So now he's playing golf, he's playing tennis. You need binocular vision to play these sports because you need to see where the ball is coming. So you need to see with both eyes. So the guy is crazy. He's so happy with it. So I'm telling you a couple of examples. I cannot promise what will happen for you.
No, I understand.
But there's examples. We have people that we know, that we've seen, that we've touched, that we've hugged, that have had amazing vision improvements, that had damage in her optic nerve or very serious conditions, or were legally blind and now they can see with both eyes. So if it's possible for them, maybe it's possible for you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Now,
as Diane, you were all the time saying attitude. Yeah.
Yes. And if you want the results they had, if you want the results they had, you will need to learn the information and put the practice that they did. That is also,
okay.
But the possibility.
Well, Irena, how can I get on your website? You said that you have 30 days training. So where should I go?
Yes, so the training that I was mentioning, that specific one, that is going to be released in October when the pinhole glasses get shipped, right? So, so once they get shipped, it doesn't make much sense to release the training now because nobody has the tool, right? So once people receive the tool, there's going to be a link sent to everybody who has them so that they can access that training and they can learn how to use those specific pinhole glasses to the best of their ability.
But you said something in 30 days. Now we have something, you're doing some...
That access to that particular training is going to be out there for 30 days. So you will have from the middle of October till the middle of November to go through it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
you.
All the best for you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it. See you, Diane, later in September.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Anna has a question that is a little bit more specific. And she would like to know, I know that you interviewed a number of vision improvement professionals, and some of them you actually even published in the website. So happy to be one of them. She's asking, what's the difference between the design of your pinhole glasses and those of Peter Grunwald of the Eye-Body Method. And I wonder if he's one of the people that you interviewed or not. He's not always very available.
I actually received a similar question not long ago. You know, if I had to say, before I brought my glasses to life, I would say Peter Grunwald's was the product that I would direct my own students to. Okay, because unlike many other products out there, his actually are they do have straight holes. His shields are flat. Now his shields do not copy the shape of one's face, right? Because they are two pieces and they have other I would say the Overbound glasses have many other benefits that those glasses do not have, right? And I don't really like to compare quite like that. I wanted to bring you guys all the information about the product that I sell. I don't like to talk one way or another about some other products, right? I don't find that to be very nice. And I think his product is good. I think my product is better. Let's put it that way. Okay. So it is up to you to judge and up to you to look on his website and look through the information that he provides about his product. He was invited to have a conversation, but it really never happened. So so he was not one of the advisors, but I respect Peter Grunwald very much. And I don't think that his product, or rather I should say that his product is good. And like I said, if I had to choose between any other products other than the one that was created here, then, you know, his product definitely is better than others that you buy just off the shelf on Amazon or anything.
Yeah. I love your answer, and I think it also follows the great respect that we have for each other's work in this community of natural vision improvement professionals. I think we're all doing our very best, and some things come after others, and Irena has done a research that has gone maybe a couple or three steps further, being more current, more contemporary. And thank you for doing this work. And yes, I also respect very much Peter Grunwald, who's also one of the authors in the anthology, by the way. You can find him there too. Let's see, more questions. Do you have some, Diana? Let's see, Dominique is asking. They're asking about my course. They're asking about the availability of your products in Europe, of course. So maybe it's good also to talk about it.
Yeah, so you know, we have been waiting for that as well. We have established a company in Europe, and we are in the middle of finishing product that's going to go to that company so that we can begin selling late this fall to our European clients, especially those who live in Spain, right? That has been a difficult country for us to ship to. And so, yeah, I'm very excited that late this fall, we will be able to start shipping from the European operation to our European clients and kind of get rid of, you know, all the import complications, which honestly are becoming harder and harder and harder. As Ainhoa said, you know, she should have had the Pinhole Shield with her today to show you guys. And no matter what we have done, how much we tried, it's not there yet in her hands. So it is becoming harder and harder. So in Europe, if you can be just a hair more patient, it is coming, and it is coming in 2026.
Okay, Stanley is asking about how he can use your products for macular degeneration, to improve from macular degeneration. And I would advise you to take a course where you will have the guidelines for that, but some of the tools will be helpful in the process for sure.
Yes, absolutely. You know, macular degeneration is a complicated issue that you can address through the process. And again, it's not a one-step thing, right? And you would be practicing various different techniques that help with the condition. And the tools are used as part of those techniques. It goes back to vision is not one little thing. Vision is a composition of many different pieces, and the individual pieces is what these tools are for. And the different techniques that develop those pieces are what you learn in a specialized course like Ainhoa's.
Yes, Nancy has a similar question, in her case asking about scares on the retina because of retinal detachment. I would say for both of you, the starting point is the course, and then the tools are going to complement your practice of the course. It's better to look at it that way, like Irena just said.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Hayden. Well, people are asking if there's going to be a recording, of course. And somebody asked about astigmatism and nearsightedness already, but someone's asking about it again. Pinhole glasses and the tools that Irena is sharing with us are extremely good with refractive errors, and the pinhole glasses allow you to see instantly focused when you have refractive errors. It's some people find it surprising because with prescription glasses, you need the opposite kind of lens if you want to focus far or if you want to focus near. But with pinhole glasses, the same pinhole glasses will help you for both distances. So yes, if you have astigmatism, nearsightedness, presbyopia, hyperopia, the pinhole glasses Irena presented will be helpful for you.
Yeah, I know when I talked to Nathan about the pinholes, the one thing that he said was that when his students first put them on, the reaction is just like, oh, my eyes can see, right? And that's what you want. Like the pinholes, in addition to all the other help that they can provide, they also give you hope. They show you that it is possible, that you don't have to have the prescription lenses in order for your eyes to see at a specific distance. Now, right, depends on the severity, but you can see, you can tell your brain, look, you can do this without the glasses, you can see clearly, and then you teach yourself through the techniques how to keep the clarity even without the pinholes. So hope is another thing that I think is wonderful, and just it gives you a great example of what is possible for your eyes.
And what's amazing is that it's instant. So if you want to show it to someone else, like, why are you wearing these things? Or what are you doing? All these crazy practices that you're doing, you give them the pinhole glasses and they can see immediately that they can see better. So yeah, this is one of the benefits of the pinhole glasses too. I think you've already answered this, but Joanna was asking, with the glasses, will the glasses come with the instructions, guidance on how to use them? So
yes, so the answer is yes, for anybody who buys it between now and August 9th from that pre-sale store. Then on October 15, we are going to release a class. You will have access to that class for 30 days, and that class is going to teach you everything that you can do with these pinhole glasses and how to use them to address various visual conditions, errors of refraction, but also some other issues as well.
So another reason to take advantage of the pre-sale. Someone is asking if the pinhole glasses can help you get rid of the glasses. Absolutely. That's the main point for them. Yes. GB is saying, thank you to Diana for letting me know these natural courses and tools can also help with cataracts, if you want to mention this for others.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, in fact, natural vision improvement works with almost, we don't want to say 100% symptoms, but almost every symptom. We have participants with various symptoms. And yes, it works. It's natural. And these tools Irena is providing today also help. They are a combination. And well, as Tatiana reminded me, attitude. Yes, we talked about, well, my colleague, my fellow, my student, he recovered being 30 years, 40 years, yes, with one eye, really, really sick and ill. But he said, okay, I can do it. And this is the attitude with the tools, because the tools alone, they don't work. You know, it's your work. It's your attitude, your engagement with you there. So yes, it will help, of course. And this is hope for your eyes. This is hope for your eyes. So yes, and people asking for the materials, if the materials are good. Okay, again, they are good, but with, you know, with a course, with knowing about natural vision improvement. So yes.
Yeah, I will build on what you said, Diana, because people always say, well, if I use your tools, is it going to work? But yes, but you need to use them for the purpose for which they were designed, right? If I give you a piano and you never touch the keys, are you going to make music? Right?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
it's exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. These are the helpers. These are the things that make it easy for your brain and eyes to do what they need to do. The different shields cover different parts of your visual field, right? And they cover certain areas and they leave other areas uncovered, and that is by design, so that you can practice exactly that skill that you're trying to develop, and you eliminate all of the other distractions that don't need to be there. And when you do that, then you are learning faster, you're learning easier, and that's what the tools are for. But you still need to go through the practice that these tools were developed for.
Yes. Lawrence, well, Tatiana raised her hand again. While she puts the mic, Lawrence is asking, dear Ainhoa, could Irena explain, I'm in the UK, should I buy now with a discount or should I wait on your shop opening in Europe? Will the shop be located in continental Europe? Will you have the discount when you open your shop? Thanks for your answer. I was about to click the button to pay when you gave this information.
All right, so UK is a difficult territory right now, right? Like it would have been a much easier answer a few years ago, but right now, I mean, you are going through import, whether you're buying products from the EU or from the US. So I don't actually know exactly the details of how all of that is going to work. My focus is on continental US when we open that shop, and being able to supply some of the territories like Spain, where we have truly not been able to get product to efficiently for whatever reason. And so that's going to be my focus. The UK ships fine from the US. So I would say, if you are interested, just buy it here, because I don't think that there's going to be a huge benefit of waiting for Europe for you. But I don't know. I honestly haven't gone that far. The focus is somewhere a little bit different for that shop.
Thank you for your honest answer. Tatiana, you have the mic now.
Yeah, I would like to say one thing. I know I really love your course. And one of the biggest reason is it's not just tools what you're presenting today, but you have great videos that I use those videos like practicing, like, get the strength into my eyes and all this. So those videos are very great. And I would like to say thank you for all of you for the great job you have done for all those years. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the acknowledgement. Thank you, and the appreciation. Thanks. It's done with love and dedication, and with the intention that you do have improvement for your eyesight and improvement for your health and your well-being and the quality of your life. So very, very happy.
I'm not wearing eyeglasses anymore, so they are done.
Yay.
I'm done with that one, so at least, so.
Yes, great. Holly,
I think we have Holly back.
yes,
Yeah,
We want to thank her. She's had her hand up for ages.
for a while, yes.
well, I don't know how my video got turned off, but it did. And so, thank you for taking the question. It's very short. I just wondered about, and maybe the material comes with the Pinhole Shield, which I've ordered, but how do we clean those little holes? How do we keep those clean?
Well, just with water and soap, and like you can wash them if they need to be cleaned.
Just wash it with water
If
and soap.
something was like really stuck in it, right, then you would use something sharp like a pin or a toothpick or something to clean them. But you know, I mean, unless that's probably not going to happen. But if they need to be washed, they can be washed.
Okay, sounds good. There's no particular brush or anything. Okay.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want a metal brush to brush them, but yeah, if you just wash them with a soft sponge or a soft cloth, you know, that should not be an issue at all.
Okay, thank you so much for taking my question, and it's so wonderful to see your faces. I'm so happy.
Maybe a
nice
toothbrush.
to see you too, Holly.
Thank you.
Maybe a toothbrush can be used with soap and water, and it can go a little bit in the holes.
Yeah, I think toothbrush is probably soft enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I will. That's a really good question, and I will make sure that I give some good instructions for that when they go out.
You can make a few tests before.
I can't wait until we have our shields, obviously.
Good.
Okay. Thanks for your question. Nice to see you. Someone's asking about epiretinal membrane. We have had so many cases of people with subretinal or epiretinal membrane get rid of them with the practice of natural vision improvement. So yes, it is possible to improve from that. Irena, do you want to go more into specifics of how to use your tools for this, or which
probably not. I think that's another one of those where you really want to go through a class and practice the techniques that need to be practiced, starting with things that don't even require tools, that just require your hands, and you rest and you learn how to use the sun and other kind of natural ways of making your eyes comfortable and healthy. So yeah.
Dominic is suggesting interdental brushes to clean the pinhole glass. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Jackie Bell, I ordered everything. So exciting. Thank you for this webinar and for the discount. So appreciated. Well, she was also asking about the courses. Indeed, for me, it's going to be in September, October. Tom was wondering where I live in Mexico, in Oaxaca. If you're anywhere near, it'd be nice to say hi. And let's see, Roxanne has some more questions. Thank you. I just put 8 sale items in my cart. Is this everything I will need? I don't know how many items.
I don't think we sell more than 8 items at this point. So
so basically have everything it has to offer at this time. Okay, Claire just raised her hand. I don't know if you can unmute yourself, maybe put the camera on. Okay. The unmuting was happening. Have you seen some more questions, Diana? I think Claire has her mic on now. Claire?
Is my microphone on now?
Yes, we don't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for this very thorough explanation today. I really appreciate the opportunity to get further in depth with regards to what you're presenting, Irena, and I really appreciate the hard work that you've put into it over the years. My question is singular at the moment, as you've pretty much answered many of the others that I had written down. You mentioned that the training course that is offered to the pre-sale purchase of the Shield it will not be available until the Shield is released. The course will be released, and that we will be provided a link to access that course. And it will be for 30 days. I guess I just want to feel clarified sort of the minute detail of that, because there has been discussion about things like things arriving on time, like Ainhoa's still waiting for her product and shipping and things like that. So should there be any, cross our fingers, everything will go smooth and accordingly. But should there be any sort of give or take a week, give or take a day, things like that occurring, and the shield is received later in October or the like, will we still have a 30-day access?
Yes, Claire, you will, and I will work through the logistics, right? It's a 30-day access. It usually starts by the time you actually register for the class. So if you don't have the glasses, you don't have to register for it, and therefore you will not start the class before you have the glasses. So if there is a delay, then you will be able to start the class later after your glasses have arrived. Okay. And
So
if
it's
there, for whatever reason, there is some other, again, I have put a little buffer on everything. So I hope that everything will go according to the schedule. But I think that everybody who has ever worked with me knows that if something doesn't go quite right, then I make sure that it is right for you. Okay, so if there needs to be some sort of adjustment because the product hasn't arrived or something else like that, that is objective, right? I can't adjust for personal matters, let's put it that way.
Sure,
but if there is
yeah.
an objective issue that is caused by product not arriving or something on my end, right, then I always make it right for my students. So that guarantee is 100%, and you don't have to worry about the fact that your product would come a little bit later and then you would not get the class. Okay.
Yeah, like you'll know what day you released it to me, but you won't know what day.
And I will communicate with everyone, right? Because you guys, you're getting, I think, a really nice discount for and nice benefits with this launch, but you also have to wait until your product arrives sometime in October, right? And so I will make sure that I communicate with everybody, and I will kind of let you know, hey, we just finished the production and it is now on its way. And just to give you a little bit of good feel that that things are not happening and that things are not kind of in limbo, right? So I like to let everybody know what the status is. We've only done a pre-sale once before. That was in 2021. For the launch of the Clarity Eyesight Trainer. So this one is a little bit different, but again, I will make sure that I communicate with everyone. The reason why we did the pre-sale or are running the pre-sale is that this is an item I have been asked for so long that it's almost impossible for me to estimate how many I should make. Right. And of course, we would all say, well, let's make a lot so that we have for everybody, but that obviously comes with cost. So I want to do right by you, but I also need to do right by my business to make sure that I don't end up with inventory that is going to sit in the warehouse for years, which is not something I would like. Right.
And
I would not worry about that at all. I think I do have a reputation of standing by my tools and doing right by all my clients, all my students. So
when you say you'll be communicating with us and we will be registering, how will you be communicating with us? Will there be email? So our email will be part of the purchase.
In the purchase order is where you will be receiving information.
Okay, and so then those emails will tell us, and here's where you register. And then once you register, that sort of, at that point, everything starts moving forward. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I would like to say something also to show the honesty and the integrity by which Irena functions. Most of my students, I teach in Spanish. I have, I don't know, maybe 10 times more students in Spanish than I do in English, give or take. And most of my students in Spanish are in Spain. So and the rest tend to be in Latin America. So when we do these presentations, and because the first time we did the collaboration, people purchased from all over the place, from Spain, from Latin America, and because the channels were not open, it was such a hassle for Irena to make sure that everyone received what they purchased, that she would rather wait for 5 years and not sell to my students until she makes sure that there is a trustworthy channel where she can serve them. So that speaks tons of her honesty. She could have been selling for the past 4 years, 3 years to my students in Spanish, and maybe they get it, maybe they don't get it, maybe they get it in 2 months, and she would rather not take that piece of business, that part of business, because she cares so much of the experience of the customer. So now we have people waiting for her to open her warehouse in Europe. So we're really, really happy that she's going to do that in the fall. And when we told the most advanced students in Spanish, which are the vision coaches in my community, we told them about this presentation and we warned them. This is going to be a presentation focused mostly for the English-speaking world, for the US and Canada, where shipping happens seamlessly, maybe the UK. If you are in Europe and you speak English, you come so you are informed, but we are going to have to wait until the fall. And if you live in Latin America, you will probably have to wait a bit longer. And I live in Mexico, and I know sending things to Mexico is always a headache, always, every time. Every time people send me anything, even a letter, I have to lit candles to the Virgin and hope that it gets here. It really is very hectic. So the fact that I haven't received my package with Irena's products is not because of complications with how Irena functions. It really depends on the Mexican post system, in this case, mail system. But yeah, Irena is really impeccable with the experience of her clients. That's what I can say. Diana, you're also on the side of supporting students and participants. You probably have something to say.
Yes, of course. It's really hard because everyone should have access to these beautiful tools. But well, this is what we have. This is reality. But we know how Irena works, and well, she would like to, to spread these things all over the world. But well, sometimes it's not that easy. And yes, it is as Ainhoa said. That's why the Spanish group tends to cut things, to make things with papers and kitchen roll tubes, waiting one day we will access the tools she has. So yes, thank you.
Well, for the Spanish crowd, we've been trying to take advantage of in-person meetings and making sure that Irena is there with tools on site.
Yeah.
We're going to organize it again for the end of the year. We're going to gather in a conference in Cancun. But anyway, so you are the lucky ones. Take advantage of the opportunity to be able to purchase the tools quite easily. Yeah.
Yep. Just like you said, ladies, I mean, yes, I wish it would be easy, but even though the world is very global when it comes to shipping and being able to supply, everyone everywhere, it doesn't have any rules. It's just really interesting and frustrating, and we just need to live within the situation that is out there, right? So hopefully Europe is going to be a big step forward and is going to make it easy for a lot of students to have access to the products if they want them, and then over time I hope we will take it further.
Okay, so I have seen a few more questions, but they were kind of repeats, like, is there some explanation coming with the tools? Irena already said yes. Is there a recording? Yes. Does it work for this or that symptom? We already spoke about that. So I don't know. Do you have maybe some final words? I don't know, Diana, if you received some more questions, because I don't see anything new popping up in the chat.
questions have been answered about the materials, about the recording, and I was thinking about this collaborative attitude with vision educators and vision coaches, because it reminded me, well, now I'm here in my home country in Argentina, and I remember once there was a book that my colleagues, my fellow students colleagues wanted to have, and it was only sold here in Argentina. So I was the one that bought the whole books, 10 books for everyone, and I took them to the US, to send them. So it's kind of, okay, let's collaborate with each other, and things will happen. Things will work one day better. So yes, so thank you, Irena, for this wonderful session. And thank you all for participating, for being so engaged in this session and the ones to come. So yes, thank you so much.
And may I say, so I haven't been paying attention to that the whole time, but I saw at least 200 people, probably more, at some moment. And we've been together for over 2 hours and a half, and that's unseen in the English-speaking community. So that speaks tons of the interest, Irena, on your tools and the pinhole glasses that we were so looking forward to. So congratulations, so excited.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for giving me a chance to show you what I've been working on. It is a passion for me. I love natural vision improvement, and I love making new things, improving things. And, I sometimes say bringing natural vision improvement to a true professional level, but with these tools. So, it just, it brings a little bit something extra. So it is my passion. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And if you have further questions, at the bottom of my website, there is a connect button. So click on it and send me an email, and I will answer you as best as I can.
Okay, well, thank you again for your dedication, your devotion, your research, your perseverance to create all these tools, and for coming to our community today. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you for your time, your attention, your commitment with your own natural vision improvement. Diana, for being with us today. And to everyone, take care, be happy, enjoy the beauty of life, and we'll see each other soon and better. Bye-bye. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.